you know that Q4 brings both incredible sales potential and opportunities, but also some unique challenges. Amazon's marketplace becomes hyper competitive. Advertising costs start spiking, and even minor issues can lead to lost sales. Are you ready to unlock the strategies that will scale your Amazon store to six figures and beyond? Whether you're looking to grow sustainably or scale with confidence, we've got the insights and tools you need to succeed. Welcome back to the Six Figure Amazon Store podcast. I'm Becky Avila, your host. Today, we're going to dive into one of the most critical times of the year for Amazon sellers, and that is, you guessed it, Q4. So, our topic today is going to be: is your Amazon store ready for Q4 2024? And here's what to expect. So, in this episode, I'm going to equip you with the latest insights, tools, and strategies to help your Amazon store thrive during the busiest shopping season of the year. From inventory management to promotional strategies, we're going to cover everything that you need to really think about maximizing your profits and also how you can avoid the common pitfalls that can impact sales. So by the end of this episode, you'll know exactly what to do and the steps to take to set up your Amazon store for success. And if you've been selling on Amazon for any length of time, you know that Q4 brings both incredible sales potential and opportunities, but also some unique challenges. Amazon's marketplace becomes hyper competitive. It's already competitive, but it becomes very competitive this time of year. Advertising costs, you'll notice they'll go up, they start spiking, and even minor issues, and that this is something I'm going to touch on today, they can lead to lost sales. And I've worked with countless brands through the past Q4 seasons and helping them really try to navigate those challenges. And the difference between sellers and brands who thrive and those who struggle, often it comes down to something as simple as preparation. So today, I'm going to share exactly what you need to do and know to get ready to make this Q4 in 2024 your most profitable season yet. Let me start by sharing a quick story about a topical pain product brand we worked with several years ago during early Q4. They entered the season excited, but there was a surge in demand, which is always a good thing, but manufacturing was behind schedule for them. So by early November, they were actually out of stock on a top seller, and they were already seeing an increase in ad costs. Basically the cost per click was going up. So because of this, their conversion rate obviously stopped dropping or started dropping. And they kind of realized too late it was really important to stay in stock during Q4. And that would make it a challenge when they did come back into stock to really gain the momentum that had been built prior to running out of stock. That's a huge issue we've seen over and over again. And sometimes it's extremely hard to avoid this, but if at all possible, it is the best thing to do is to stay in stock on Amazon. And then we kind of reevaluated their approach and also put a new strategy in place to kind of prevent those issues from happening again. And the following Q4, they were prepared. They had optimized listings. We set up a promotional calendar for them on Amazon. We also had designed a more strategic PPC approach to their campaigns. So today I'm going to walk you through how to set up for yourself a similarly successful Q4 season. So let's dive into the steps that you can take to ensure your store is ready for Q4 2024. The first thing is inventory management. So proper inventory management, that's going to be essential. I've obviously alluded to this already with my mention of running out of stock. You can use Amazon's inventory performance index, that's the IPI, to really kind of assess your stock levels and look at your demand. But you obviously want to aim to avoid any kind of stock outs. And you should be also mindful, this is where it comes a little bit trickier, to be avoiding overstocking. As Amazon's charges during this time of year, their storage fees are going to be heftier because it is a high demand period in their warehouses. So just think about it as being their warehouse is real estate space. It is more expensive this time of year because more brands are wanting to do the same thing and get more product in. Now, if you're a brand that is new to Amazon's platform, you can take advantage of reduced or even waived fees. And so make sure to check out my episode. I share a lot of advantages for brands that are new to Amazon's platform as a sales channel. This would be a great time of year to take advantage of those if you're eligible. And if you offer subscribe and save, you do want to especially be careful during Q4 because think about it, it is a high traffic time during these months. Especially you'll notice between mid it's kind of becoming earlier now, but really mid-November to mid-December are like when you see the biggest spikes with traffic, daily traffic. And that's really a great opportunity to reach out to think about new to brand customers by offering them a coupon, for instance, for subscribing for your product. And if they like your product, they should stay and want to stay subscribed for it. And here's a pro tip for you. If you use Subscribe and Save, Amazon's Subscribe and Save portal now shares data on how many subscribers come back for more than one order and how many are actually canceling. So you can actually see like a pie graph, which is really helpful. They used to not offer this data point. And for instance, you should, what we're kind of seeing is for products that are eligible for Subscribe and Save, you should see about maybe a quarter of the subscribers are not coming back for more than one order. And if your percentage is much higher than that, like you're noticing a percentage, you will have to dig into that further. You'll have to look at your product reviews. You'll have to see the reasons of why people are saying anything negative about your product to figure out what is happening. Why are they not coming back? Because that should not be the case if your product is a good product. And, most of the time, people actually will continue to subscribe. The second is strategic advertising spend. So I kind of already mentioned Q4, the cost per click, the competition, those are cost per clicks are going to spike. It's interesting, people that never even run brand ads throughout the rest of the year, they will run them during Q4 typically. They'll see the opportunity. So you wanna really allocate your PPC budget strategically. So we like to focus in on high converting keywords this time of year and really also prioritizing campaigns that also target kind of think about gift related searches as well. So you may want to implement also something like day parting this time of year to ensure that you're not running out of spend during peak times for your brand during the day. And also remember that conversions are really should be the kind of priority for this season. So you want to adjust your bids based on the performance of your campaigns and also avoid overspending on those lower performing keywords because like I said, you're even for those lower performing ones, you're going to be paying more per click this time of year. And I also wouldn't make it your primary focus this time of year for those low performing ones. With many of our clients, we found that running a combination of kind of sponsored product, sponsored brand ads, those are going to kind of yield higher returns without maxing out their budgets. We do use sponsored display ads as well, but that one has to be used more strategically this time of year. Otherwise, it could really cost you as that campaign type in general is really great for brand awareness, but remember, it is also more top of your funnel. So if you're thinking about your customer's buyer journey, they're not as warmed up and as familiar necessarily with your brand. So they're kind of further away, and that's why usually it's a little bit more expensive for those campaigns. The third thing is to optimize your listing content. So Q4 is the time to make sure that your listings are fully optimized. And I've talked about this on a lot of other episodes that you can go back to. But just always to recap, you're going to think about high quality images and really taking it up a notch too. Like if you've not changed your images in years and your images are subpar, that is something that you should be investing in because you have to remember this is going to be a month over month return. If your listing starts converting, for instance, 5% better, you might not be that impressed by that to think, okay, well, that's only 5% more sales. But if you start looking at your data month over month over month, looking at 3 months, 6 months, that extra 5% every month on average is going to help your brand a lot. And so you should be spending and investing into really good images because Amazon is very visual, especially with that first image. Also, you want to think about your bullet points. Make sure they're engaging, make sure that they are really highlighting things that you want, as well as obviously keeping and having keywords inside that copy and a compelling product description. And once again, that's also for really your keywords that you want to be found on for Amazon SEO as well. And you can also be doing additional things. This is kind of further along if your listing has been up for a while, but you could be split testing your titles, for instance, or your images or your bullet points. You don't want to split test all of those at once, obviously, just do one element at a time. But that can really give you an edge, showing you what converts best for holiday shoppers. And you do want to make your product pages or your listings stand out by this time of year by highlighting kind of giftable qualities, if that makes sense for your product. especially like I said, if it's well suited for holiday giving. Now, fourth is you want to think about updating your brand store with actually seasonal themes. So you can, which is really cool, you can refresh your Amazon brand store with seasonal images, have maybe a more holiday focused messaging. Also, it could look a lot more of like what your external, marketing looks like or your website looks like this time of year. And Amazon shoppers this time of year, they are looking for gift ideas for others, to be quite honest, for themselves, right? I know I do that too. And a festive, really brand store, it's going to make a stronger impression. And it's also going to prevent that if they are familiar with the brand, it's going to prevent that fatigue of, I've already seen this brand stores, nothing has changed. So you really want to, on the brand stores, you want to guide them to your top products and also any holiday specials that you have. We also like crafting content, for instance, that is specific for the holidays if it makes sense. And also, like I said, highlighting those upcoming sales because it is going to be more engaging and it is going to be new content that people can see. Remember, your Amazon brand stores page, it's like having your own website on Amazon's website for your brand. And you can actually set up multiple versions of your brand stores. So you can actually set them to run for specific dates and then you can return to your typical. Maybe this is kind of your year-round brand stores content after the holidays. So another little pro tip about that is brand stores um, is another place that is great for promoting any new product that is added to your existing product line. You can really highlight this when shoppers, for instance, click onto your stores page from either an ad, so a sponsored brand ad, or through one of your product listings. You want to show them anything that is new. You want to highlight that. That could actually be on the first page, or it could be a specific sub page. For instance, with sponsored brand ads, you're actually able to send traffic to a specific sub page within your brand store. So if you're really trying to promote a new product this time of year, that is a place that you can do that. And fifth is you want to plan your promotional calendar. So you should be mapping out your promotional calendar early. So Amazon's Black Friday, Cyber Monday events, those are going to be huge opportunities. You also don't want to forget about also capitalizing on post-holiday shopping as well. So think about planning those brand tailored promotions and lightning deals, for instance, for January. So many people forget about that. They just think about this time of year, but you should already be thinking ahead to January because you can really capture sales from shoppers at this point that have received gift cards and they're looking to spend their Amazon gift cards somewhere or on some products on Amazon. So that is something to keep in mind, even as you are thinking now of looking ahead into early 2025. So we have a topical, product brand that really saw strong January sales last year by running targeted promotions for customers that were looking to buy health related products as they're part of their New Year's resolutions. So also just keep in mind your target audience as well and their shopping patterns because some products are maybe not as popular in December, especially more of health related products. But think about it. People are getting gift cards. January can be a huge month for a lot of brands, a lot of niches. January can actually be a great month for sales. Now, the key to a successful Q4, I mentioned earlier, that's going to be your preparation. So you really have to think about managing your inventory. You should also be thinking about how you're going to do your PPC on Amazon different this time of year. And think about, do you want to refresh your brand stores if you have that already? If you don't, then you should and could create a brand store as long as you have brand registry. You should also be thinking ahead and preparing for promotions. And obviously, with your manufacturing and ordering lead times, things like that, you should be thinking ahead to make sure that you've already at this point hopefully sent in your inventory for Q4. Right now is the time to start sending it in for, especially if you are a niche that might have a more popular January in 2025. You should be going ahead and sending an inventory now so that it gets to Amazon in time because obviously this time of year they're very busy. So you want to really go ahead and account for extra time. And just think about what are these steps that you can implement right now that could help you to stay ahead of the game. What is one area that you could be preparing for your brand on Amazon that can help you to have a successful Q4? So those are some tips. Thank you for joining me today in the Six Figure Amazon Store podcast. I hope that these insights were really helpful for you because I want you to be successful this Q4 and really think ahead and be prepared So until next time, make sure you're staying proactive on things, make sure you're optimizing your listings, your brand stores, or creating those. And happy selling. Talk to you next week. Bye. Just like your customer reviews on Amazon help you grow, your review on Apple Podcasts helps us reach more brands like you. If you enjoyed today's episode, would you please take a moment to leave us a review? We'd really appreciate it. Thanks so much.